Good day! In today's topic, we will be discussing sustainability reporting. How to better communicate our best practices of wastewater management. Let's discuss how we can help small and medium enterprises to work out a sustainability practice that fit into business models and report about it. Let's get started.
Since 2020, the Securities and Exchange Commission requires publicly listed companies in the Philippines to submit their performance regarding economy, environment, and society. A growing number of businesses are including sustainability targets in their key performance indicators. So-called sustainability reporting can be a strong asset to boost consumer confidence, increase innovation, and improve risk management. It is a tool that can positively benefit a company's reputation towards internal and external stakeholders. A variety of different frameworks exist, and we'll find out today from our expert speakers. After we have tackled 5 workshops clarifying on wastewater standards, technical approaches, and financing, this last edition is on the communication expert and how to capitalize wastewater management upgrades that you are undertaking in your companies. So with no further ado, I would like to call on our ambassador, Her Excellency Anke Reifenstuhl, to provide us an opening message. Welcome, Ambassador. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bandelow. Good afternoon, everyone. Today's topic is wastewater management, a very relevant topic for the Philippines and for Metro Manila. According to the World Bank, Metro Manila generates about 2 million cubic meters of wastewater every day. Less than 1/5 of this is being treated before discharged into water channels in and around the city, most of it ending up in Manila Bay. The Philippine government has taken important steps, for example, by providing a legal framework with relevant laws like the Clean Water Act in 2004. But given the increasing urbanization and the fast-growing population of Manila and the Philippines, a lot more needs to be done, and a lot more can be done in cooperation with Germany. The GPCCI workshop series could and can hopefully deliver a substantial contribution towards the ongoing efforts, while at the same time strengthening the cooperation and business relations between the Philippines and Germany. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Ambassador, for your warm words. Now, from our valued partner, we have Dr. Joey Leviste. He is director at the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, leading its Environment and Climate Change Committee, an institution instrumental in forwarding environmental protection in the Philippines. A warm welcome, Dr. Leviste.
Thank you very much for your kind introduction, Charlotte. Today's activity will focus on the sustainability reporting, communicating best practices of wastewater management, an essential component in our advocacy and efforts in helping our members, particularly the small and medium enterprises, comply with our government's regulation on wastewater management. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources has been asking for more information as part of the quarterly monitoring report, and thus it is now incumbent upon small and medium enterprises to include sustainability reporting as part of their business. Taking stock of their initiatives and quantifying its benefits can also be used in applying for the recognition programs of DNR, which recognizes companies who exhibit very good superior environmental programs. Big companies are also now requesting small and medium enterprises to share their environmental performance as part of their Greening the Supply Chain program. Environmental performance and reporting may soon be a pre-qualification criteria before a company can be recognized as a supplier or as a business partner. For our part in PCCI, we've been using different platforms to share information and best practices of environmental sustainability to our members. For more than a decade, PCCI has been implementing the Excellence in Ecology and Economy Award annually, where we recognize companies that have demonstrated the most innovative projects and outstanding environmental performance in their pursuit of business sustainability.
We're so happy to see that the Philippine Chamber of Commerce is also very active in capacitating SMEs. Ms. Javier is the local network representative and chairperson of the Global Compact Network Philippines of the United Nations. She was paramount in spearheading the launch of this network in the Philippines in the year of 2016. The GCNP has created multiple initiatives to encourage sustainable business practices, such as stakeholder mapping and sustainable development goals workshops, and is composed of 42 participant companies or member companies in that network. A warm welcome to you, Ms. Yayu.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. The UN Global Compact was actually relaunched by the Philippine Marketing Association back in 2016. We have 5 founding members: the Ayala, the Manila Doctors, the Filipino Shell Petroleum, Nestle Philippines, and Land Bank. And we have been working with the UN agencies quite closely. We do a lot of programs together. And this year, we also have our board of trustees members that would include Unilever, Aboitiz, and International Care Ministries. Way back in 1999, it really all started with Secretary General then Kofi Annan. And he felt that it was time to have a human face to the global market. So he said we should have a compact with the business leaders of shared values and principles. And that's really about having a human face to the global market. There were 40 leading companies that signed up, and today we have more than 10,000. So the UN Global Compact is really all about starting with the 10 principles that focuses on human rights, labor, environment, and anti-corruption. So the United Nations advocacy is about the 17 sustainable goals, but the UN Global Compact focuses on the 10 principles to look for opportunities for SDGs. But it focuses on the private sector and other stakeholders. As mentioned earlier, there are more than 10,000 businesses that are committed to the 10 principles. 3,000 are actually non-business members, and more than 160 countries are actually with the UN Global Compact. 28% of them are Fortune 500, and more than 60 million people are employed in the company that are participating. So a lot of CEOs understand the responsibility and opportunity. As a matter of fact, 71% recognize that business could play a significant role. And 21% think, though, that business is actually doing this, while 77% see opportunity to build brands. There have been studies across the globe that more and more consumers are looking or patronizing companies that are doing more sustainable development goal programs. As you can see here, 44% are driven by consumer demand, and 44% see opportunity for revenue growth and cost reduction. So thank you so much for allowing me to present today.
Thank you, Ms. Yayu, for this very comprehensive overview of all the projects that you're doing within the UN Global Compact.
We are very excited to have Mark Mulingbayan on board and also share from a company's perspective. He's the Chief Sustainability Officer and concurrent head of Enterprise Risk Management at Manila Water Company. He was a lecturer in the faculty of the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and tackled topics such as the environment, sanitation, sustainability, and risk for government agencies, as well as non-government organizations. Mark also served as co-chair in the Environment and Climate Change Committee in the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry from 2018 to 2019. Dear Mark, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the German Chamber of Commerce and Philippine Chamber of Commerce for inviting us to share our experience in sustainable reporting. We started our sustainability journey in Manila Water. I guess you can argue that it started from day one when we won the East Zone concession in Metro Manila in 1997. Our service obligation is to provide water and wastewater services. And there are economic, social, and environmental goals associated with providing water as a basic lifeline to any community. But at the same time, we are a business, we are not a foundation. So in the course of providing the services to the public, we also have to return a decent profit for our investors. Sustainability reports are published distinct from the annual reports of a company. So the annual report would report on financials, and the sustainability report would say something about ESG and the nice work you do. We decided in 2016 that it should be one single report because you want it all integrated. This is how much money we made, but in the course of doing that, this is how much impact we had on the world. We interwove our narratives such that you can see that the business itself, it runs at the core of the business, your shared value character. So we have been doing that for the past 5 years. In the past year, 2020, we adopted in our reporting an additional framework which is SASB, Sustainability Accounting Standards Board. If you would like to visit the Manila Water website, all of these reports are downloadable for your review. We have not changed our sustainability framework. Given all of those sustainability frameworks that I mentioned, GRI, IR, at the end of it all, you still have to go back to your basic business model. This is what is important to the company. And where do those frameworks fit in? For protecting the environment, we have two contexts. Number one, we have to protect the place where the water comes from. And number two, we have to clean the wastewater because that wastewater goes back to the environment. We are highly dependent on the environment for the water, raw water, and the environment is dependent on us to clean the dirty water before it's returned to Mother Nature. Most companies would report on the volume of wastewater treated because that is a GRI requirement, and also the level of compliance with the effluent standards. We actually report on how much pollution was removed. We give the audience a scale of how much pollution we removed. And not only do we report on organic pollution removed, we also correlate that with the carbon avoidance if that wastewater had not been treated properly. Those wastewaters in the environment or in septic tanks will become methane, and methane is a very strong greenhouse gas. I mentioned that in the GRI standards, they require compliance disclosures, but other than compliance, we also report on impact. It's not just a pollution that we removed, it's also how much carbon dioxide was avoided by treating that wastewater. When you make claims in your sustainability report, in your disclosures, you have to ensure that this is checked by a third party. So you need an independent assurer to give credence to your reports. My advice to those who are about to start on sustainability reporting is you have to have a reason why you're doing it. You don't publish it for the sake of bragging. There has to be a better business case why you want to do sustainability reporting. And when you do so, you start with stakeholders. Listen to what they want you to disclose. You have to see what are the issues that are relevant to all and find alignments because you can work together in some material issues. Beyond the frameworks, beyond the disclosure requirements of those different frameworks that you will want to adopt, try to focus more on impact rather than compliance. It's not just showing how responsible you are. It's better to show what is your impact. What value, what is your reason for existence in this world? Why are you here? It's not because you're responsible, but because you have something to offer. What is your value add to the society that you work for? And again, we keep repeating, it's a journey. You cannot perfect it on the first try, but it's a journey in realizing what are the important things that you want to talk about and what to work on in your sustainability practice.
How would a company report their sustainability report at the UN Global Compact?
Yes, we are actually requiring companies, the members are the ones that are reporting what we call a yearly report, the COP, Communication on Progress. And it's fairly stating, their commitment and also stating what their programs are and how it's actually the impact it is creating. So there is a template. But they can also, like Manila Waters, for instance, they follow the GRI because GRI and UN Global Compact, they have a partnership, they have templates. So if you're already doing GRI, that is definitely okay already.
From your perspective, what do you think hinders companies to join, to start and initiate sustainability practices? Or is it more often that they just don't communicate about it?
That's a very interesting question, actually. It's just that they don't know how to start, where to start. So that's the reason why, a lot of them want to do it, but they don't know, okay, how do I do this? That's the reason why we do have small businesses as members in the UN Global Compact, and it's really very reasonable. But we help them, we guide them in terms of being able to take that first step. Because what we normally tell businesses is that you have to see which SDGs are very much aligned to your business, which ones will actually support your business. That's how you start. You start with something as simple as that. And you don't have to, some companies think they have to do the 17 SDGs. No, of course not. You have to start with small steps. You start with that. So that's really the hindrance, how do I start? So they just need guidance. And that's the reason why we have this program, the MSME Recovery and Resilience, is also to help small businesses, even if they're still not our members yet, but how to help them to be able to start in the sustainability path?
Someone was wondering whether you're doing everything by yourself or do you have a team behind you?
It's a very lean team. There's just two of them, two young ladies who do the number crunching. I happen to think that if, sustainability work, the sustainability role is mostly women, actually. I'm the outlier here. Even in the Ayala Sustainability Council, it's mostly women. So yes, I have a very small team. We're a lean team at the enterprise level, but we have, again, our kasangas at the business unit levels. So we have a point person, a sustainability focal person who addresses the sustainability matters within that business unit, because we are all over the Philippines as well. And we also have colleagues in Vietnam and Indonesia. But at the end of it all, it's not one person doing sustainability work. It actually has to be embedded in the understanding of every single manager in the enterprise. Every manager is an HR manager. Every manager is a risk manager. And because of Manila Water's unique sustainability brand and nature, every manager should be a sustainability manager.
I will pass it over to the president of the German-Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Stefan Schmitz, for the closing remarks. Stefan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Tobias. Dear Ambassador, dear members and friends from the PCCI, GCNP, SAPI, and GPCCI. Dear partners, dear experts. On behalf of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I would like to thank all the participants, speakers, and partner organizations for their valued contribution in making this entire workshop series a successful one.